Yo, what's up guys? Turn here. Today we're back with a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing the third series in the just breaking down the winners matchups for the Major 4 bracket. So the third match that we're going to be breaking down is the LA Thieves versus the Minnesota Rokkr. So just kind of looking at these two teams, they did match up recently. It was on Sunday. So I in that series, Thieves kind of handled them a bit. Personally, I think that's kind of how this series is gonna go. I think that Minnesota had a good start with their little land series that they threw, where they kind of flew teams in, played on land, and they also had double matches. They started out the split 2-0, which I think was really good for them and much needed after going on 5 last split. So, kind of moving past that though, they haven't really looked good. Um, their series, obviously some close ones. I think they went game 5 with FaZe, but um, as of right now, I'm not as high on FaZe really after the Seattle beating that they took this weekend. So I think for Rokkr, it's kind of just about refining themselves, um, and just making sure that you are doing everything you can to put your players in the most comfortable positions, and the things that fit their playstyle. Just putting the right pieces around each other, and I think this roster is that, but I don't think they're there yet. So going into the stats, this is the Major 4 stats. Shout out to Breaking Point for the stats. Um, Looking at the KDs, um, so the way this list sorts is overalls at the top, right? It's not based on alphabetical order or anything like that. When you look at the KDs, all four of the Thieves players are at the top, and all four of the Rokkr players are at the bottom. Um, so I think that is issue number one: is that Minnesota is not playing well, um, but Thieves are playing out of their minds. Like when you look at the KDs, Octane with a 1.32, that's your main AR. He's dropping a 1.32. Kenny with a 1.18, Jiraza with a 1.16, Envoy with a 1.10. Starting to kind of give you not just like flashbacks of the Thieves roster last year where they were not very good in the beginning, really bad in the middle, and for the end they were insane, went back to back one champs. So for them, I think this is kind of nothing new. Um, it's last year, I feel like much of their success was because of how good they were at control, really, towards the end. And nothing's changed here. Octane with a 1.75 in control. If you follow my cursor, bring it up for you. A 1.75 is insane. 1.14 for Kenny. A 1.19 for Draza. And a 0.99 for Envoy. But his teammates are also frying, so it's very hard to kind of say, like, oh, Envoy's KD is only a 0.99. Like, his teammate has a 1.75. There's only so many kills to go around on the map. But yeah. So Thieves, I think, is naturally just gonna win this series pretty easily if they're still in the form that they're in online. They do tend to get better on land too, so we haven't really seen this full Rokkr team. Obviously, we haven't seen Fame at a major yet, so we don't know how he's gonna be on land. Personal experience from playing against him in challengers and just like what I know, I think he'll be fine. Might be one of the better players on that team when it comes to land. But yeah, so let's get into Minnesota a little bit more. Let's dive into that. So overall KD for Afro is a 0.99. Overall KD for Cammy is a 0.99, and Fame with a 0.93, Vance with a 0.8. So most of these KDs for me are kind of, it's like because their S&D KDs are really bad. Um, like their two top players, right? Like Afro's got a 0.99 and Cammy's got a 0.99, but Afro's got a 0.72 in S&D and Cammy's got a 0.8. Bance has a 0.74 and Fame is a 1.02. So for me, it's concerning because I know that Thieves' KDs for S&D are much better. Like Draws has got a 1.8 in the mode. Um, I feel like Thieves just have more X Factor ish players when it comes to that mode. Um, Minnesota's weird for me because coming into the year, I thought that that team was gonna be really good. Uh, I think that Afro has kind of kept expectations. Like he's probably been their best player all year. Really, really, really good. Hard to find good subs like that. Cammy is not looking like Cold War Cammy, which is a problem for this roster because you kind of rely on that. Obviously they had Attach before they had Fame. Attach was playing too slow, in my opinion. He came out on a stream and said it too. Like the coaches were kind of telling him to just play in the back of spawn, if he got yelled at for it, or if he moved from the spawn, he just got yelled at. So for me, I think knowing that, I think it's for me this team is I think the coaches are good. I think the coach is good. I think Looney's good at what he does. But judging that this is the third year of this team, like the Rokkr organization being ass in general, kind of makes me think that they should probably switch it up. You're kind of shuffling out players here. You're shuffling out Attach for Fame, which I do think Fame is very good, but I'm not sure if he'll ever really be able to thrive in this system. Just with how bad they are at hardpoint, they're not great at S&D. Their controls meh. Like it's just I don't feel like you're setting him up for success really. Um, Also feel like Vance is like your leader, right? I don't think that this team really needs that. I think that when you have a coach like Looney, like he can kind of, IGLing is one thing, but I feel like teams kind of overrate how much you really need an IGL. So for me, why are we replacing Attach instead of like a Bance? Like I think Bance is very good when he plays well. He's very very good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not often. Like this point eight is kind of what we've seen from him pretty much the whole year. Outside of I think it was stage two when they got third. Like in their last split he was not good. Split one he wasn't that good. Like for me it's like why not try to pair Afro with like a Real who's sitting on your bench who you know is very good? Because when you go up against a team like Thieves or like Optic, every single one of their players is an actual superstar. Like you don't have an IGL role player. Like I guess Optic you could say with Ghosty, but Ghosty's young. Like he's not, like he's fresh, super talented. Um, when you look at Thieves, just superstars across the board. And I think that for Rokkr, I think they'll probably make a change after this because when you look at the standings, obviously this is the like split standings, but I think it's here. No, it's not. The point the point breakdown. Um, this is what I was saying. Yeah, here. So when you look at this, Vegas and Minnesota are tied now. They had a huge lead on Vegas, and you've kind of just let it slip away with the 0-5 stage and the 2-3 stage of this time. You need to get some points at this LAN, or Vegas is going to pass you. Um, so I think for them, this is very important. Um, you kind of need your superstars to kick up. You need Camby to play super well. You need Afro to play super well. You need to see what Fame is really made of, and Bance has to have an all-star type series for you to win this series. Um, so for that reason, I think that I'm gonna have Thieves over Rokkr. Um, I just think matchup-wise, it's not a good fit, really. I think maybe Rokkr could get away with beating a subpar team who's not playing as well, and maybe they could go game 5 with FaZe and almost win it. But even then, like FaZe doesn't have all four players playing out of their minds like Thieves does. So, like in terms of like favorites for the tournament, I would have Optic one and Thieves two. And I think past that, that's a wide margin. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like. Let me know down in the comments below which team you think is coming out of this series, and just your overall opinions on both of the teams. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Peace.